Welcome to Al Dente Kitchen, where I share my home cooked recipe. And today we are blissfully in this place owned by Royal Foundation Bali. We would like to thank you guys for letting me use your facility. It's beautiful. If you can see, Royal Foundation is an eco-conservation program that's run in Bali, and here we have about 100 plants, some of them that we will be used for cooking. So today, following the other recipe of the green curry paste, today we are going to make some green curry creation. The first recipe that I have right now is going to be pan-fried salmon with vegetable green curry. So it's going to be crispy salmon and then cook and soak in the curry juice. It sounds so delicious already. So let's start. Okay, the first ingredient will be sliced salmon here. Obviously, you can always change your protein with something else, chicken or other type of fish, of course. And then for the vegetable, we're going to use baby corn, baby purple eggplant, and then the usual some carrots and also some snake beans here. If you don't have snake beans, you can go with the green beans. That is completely fine. And we have other usual Asian ingredients that is easy to find if you live in Asia, but otherwise you can try in Asian supermarkets such as lemongrass, some palm sugar or jaggery, and then some red chilies, onion, kaffir lime leaf, and the last one here I have a purple basil or Thai basil, but obviously you can use just a sweet regular basil atau kemangi for Indonesian, so you can use that also. You cannot change the galangal here or lengkuas into ginger. You cannot do that because that's have a very different flavor. So if you don't have this, you can skip it or you don't have to use it. Just use whatever you have. And some fish sauce here, Kecap Ikan. Here I have coconut milk. You really need this. If you don't have it, you can use cream, but coconut milk have this really Asian taste that goes better with the ingredients you have. And here I have about 600 ml of stock. I have seafood stock because we're using fish, but otherwise you can either use water or some other stock that goes with your protein. We are going to use the green curry that we made in the other episode. If you want to see how we make this green curry and how to preserve it, you can check in the description box. There will be a link there how to make the green curry paste. We are going to cook our curry first, and then we're going to move on to our salmon. First of all, you want to prepare your ingredients. You want to cut some of this. Oh, the dogs are excited. Okay, you can cut it lengthwise. The eggplant, if you don't have this eggplant, you can use regular eggplant, but in a traditional Thai recipe, you usually use two types of this really round eggplant, which is easily available in Asia, Southeast Asia that is. I would like to cut the small one just in half, so when you eat it, you come up with this, you have this texture on your soup. Have your beans. You want to peel your carrots. And you want to slice the carrots thinly so it cooks quickly. So I'm just going to paisan or French cut it. Now we're going to start cooking the curry because obviously it needs time to simmer and cook. While our pan is heating up, we are going to prepare the spice. You wanted to choose your galangal in a pinkish color like this, which indicates that it's still young and still full of flavor. Much like people. Just kidding. And that you want to also clean the lemongrass. A little bit of oil. You want to bruise the lemongrass with the back of your knife. You don't have to do this, but I just have a small pot, so I want to tie it so it's fit my pot. And very important ingredient is the kaffir lime leaf. We want to fry this ingredient quickly. At this point, this is what we call the aromatics that we put in. Slice your onion thinly. The goal here is to sweat the onion until it's caramelized. It will eventually let an aromatic, really pungent, really nice smell. A smell that make your neighbor dislike you. Now the onion already start to sweat. We want to use about 1 full spoon of curry paste. Just keep in mind that the curry paste has already been cooked, so you don't need to cook it any further. And start putting about 1 cup of coconut milk, a little bit of stock, you want to put all of your ingredients. All of the hard vegetables like baby corn and carrots will go first, because that will be the one that takes most of the cooking time. So that's how you know which vegetables goes in first. The one that's the hardest and the ones that takes time to cook obviously will go in first. While they are cooking, we're going to season it. Salt, pepper, fish sauce. Fish sauce is very salty, so be moderate with your salt and the fish sauce. And you don't want to break that in your kitchen because the smell is just terrible. Just a little bit of water. We have more vegetables to go in. Now at this point you can pre-cook your vegetables or just let it simmer. Oh, we will also put a little bit of the sliced chili because I like spicy, not too spicy. So big red chilies have a very low heat. So you can right now let it simmer for another 10 minutes or until the vegetables start to soften. And then the other vegetable that's easy to cook like the snake bean and the eggplant will be in last, just before it's being served. So let's cook the salmon. While waiting for our curry to bubble up and cook the veggies, we are going to attempt with this really windy weather are going to cook the salmon. Please preheat your pan. Once the salmon have to go in, we're leaving the skin on. Skins goes in first and then we flip it. So make sure that your salmon is dry and your pan is really hot. So right now we're going to pat and make sure your fish is clean. To achieve that crispiness, you have to make sure that it's also dry. Pat the skin, make sure there's no scale. Okay, so you see there's still a little bit of scale on my salmon. Just make sure that it's all clean. We don't want to eat that nasty. To make sure that your salmon cook evenly, we are going to score the skin of the salmon. Scoring means that you cut or make a small incision so the heat and the seasoning can go through, so it will cook evenly. So we're going to do that. Only just a little bit and not too deep. So about a couple of score. So just like that per fish. If it's a small fish, obviously you need one. Now before we cook, we are going to lightly season our salmon with salt each side and pepper. Heat up your pan, oil your pan generously. We really want that skin to sizzle. That is a very good sign. Turn it up a little bit. Alright, we're in business. Now that the surface of the salmon is already crispy and the exteriors are already cooked, we are going to move it into the curry sauce, so the rest of the cooking will be done within the curry. Let's go! Now the vegetables are already cooked, we will put the rest of the vegetables such as the snake beans and the eggplant will go last because they need the least time to cook. How you would know that your eggplant is cooked, it will obviously change color and darker color into brownish, and then it will start to go a bit mushy, a little bit soft. I personally like it with a little bit of crunch, so I would eat it at this point, but if you want to continually cooking it until it's softer, that's certainly up to you. At this point we already have our curry and we transfer it to the pan, so it will soak up the salmon juices, and then as a finishing touch we will cook a little bit of the salmon mid-side down, a little bit in the curry, just a few minutes while we're plating. Obviously the curry will soak up all of the salmon juice and oil, and it would flavor even further the curry, so it will taste like that seafood touch that we want to. Now our curry is already bubbling and the fish is already cooked as well. It's half, the fat have actually rendered out, and now let's plate our food. So our food is ready. Here is our pan-fried salmon with green vegetable curry for today. Very fresh vegetables, very easy recipe. And then again, you can look in the description for how to make a green curry paste that you can store in the fridge. Now, favorite time, let's get into it. So the salmon cook all the way through, and then just have this little bit of flavor into the curry. And the curry broth and the vegetables have this heat, and then all the spices that you can taste in your mouth. It's so good. You can add more chili if you like, but if you don't, you can enjoy it like this. So this is my episode, green curry and pan fried salmon. I will see you in another episode. See you next time. Bye.